Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. Plenty to talk about. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, we've got the Luton game, and anything you want to talk about, get it in the chat. But Webby, got to start with this Luton game. Do you think we're going to be ready for it after Wednesday night's game?
Got to be ready. You know, I watched them against Liverpool last Sunday, did very well.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way they're going to play. They're not going to come out against teams, you know. And they did well, and they was unlucky not to win the game, obviously, with the equaliser at the end. But if we're not ready, we'll get beat. You know, these players come to Old Trafford.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they come up from, the National League, all those leagues, they come up to play at the likes of Old Trafford and Arsenal and Chelsea and Liverpool and City. And if we're not ready, so we're going to get beat. And I'm being serious, you know. Looking at the other night, I thought we did well until the sending off. I thought we controlled the game. I don't think they were in it. I think if we stay on 11 players, we win the game 3 or 4-0, but we never. But Luton are coming here with no pressure.
No,
the pressure's on United.
No,
the pressure's on United. The pressure's on Ten Hag. The pressure's on the players. So we've got to be ready. I think we will be ready. But if we're not so, it's going to be a long, long Saturday afternoon, mate.
You know, you talk about ready, Webby. I mean, my concern really for it is I looked at them players at the end of the game, and I look especially at Garnacho on the floor, put everything into it. He was absolutely done. You know, that's what worries me. Some of them players there, you know, covered a lot of ground, worked hard for a change. You know what I mean? To me, at times, I thought United, it was the best I'd seen them play in periods of that game. But I think the effort and what they put into it, that's my concern. Because really, I want Garnacho to play again. And I think, obviously, Rashford there on the right, I think that's how it'll be. But Garnacho, for me, that's my big worry. As a young lad, emotionally and physically, it looked to me as though it took it out of him. And it would have took it out of a few players there because they did work hard.
Yeah, no, you're right. They had to, obviously, with a man sending off, and you've got, 60-odd, 70 minutes of the game left.
Yeah.
You know, and you are going to have to battle hard, and you have to run that bit extra. And looking at the likes of Wan-Bissaka, who I thought played well, how was he going to react from his first game, playing the full match?
Yeah.
No, I think that he needs to make a few changes. You know, I'm a bit worried about the left-back situation, you know. I was talking to my mate the other day, and Christ, you don't realise how much you miss Luke Shaw.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely
massive blow. You know, you can make maybe as a player for 1 or 2 games, but when you're talking, was his last game, was it before Arsenal? You're probably talking 7 or 8, 9 games, I might be wrong.
Yeah.
But I just think that we've got to be ready Saturday, because Luton are coming here with the tails up. They drew against Liverpool at home, and they've got nothing to fear, you know, because we talk about Old Trafford like last year was a fortress. We was trying to get it back to a fortress again, and this year it's gone absolutely wrong. You know, so it's imperative that we win to go into that international break. But I think he'll make changes. I think he might need to freshen it up. I think a massive blow, and people have had a go at me, but I think our best centre half this year has been Johnny Evans. I'm being serious with you, and who would have thought that?
Yeah.
You know, when we got him from Luton, he was training just to stay fit, and then they offered him a contract. But if you're looking at it with the injuries and the way some of the centre halves have played, Evans has not put a foot wrong. Devastated when he come off the other night, but we've got to get over that. But I'm thinking, Manchester United Football Club got to rely on a 35-year-old free transfer. That's what the state we're in, so unfortunately.
Yeah.
But no, we've got, like I said, we've got to be ready. He's got to pick the right team. I know you're saying about Rashford being on the right-hand side. For me, it doesn't work, but what can he do? Does he put Bruno there, which is not his game?
No,
Does he put Anthony there, who's been playing like a duck egg? The Sancho situation would be ideal for him to come back in, but that's not going to be sorted.
No.
So it's a major problem, that right-hand side, Tony.
You know, tactically, Webby, you know, you have to look at it. Well, I'm looking at it, that Luton are going to come here. They're going to be resilient, defend. Yeah. How do we get behind them, Webby? Because we've not been able to do that against the low block, you know, where teams have come to Old Trafford and just sort of like sat there and defended. Our wingers, no matter who we put out there, don't seem to be able to get it across. Now, the other night against Copenhagen, I just saw the different sort of like tactics, the way they were free-flowing and be able to get behind them and get the ball across. And that's what Højlund wants, but we've not seen it really.
Do you know what, Tony? Look at the Fulham game where we couldn't keep the ball. Then the Copenhagen game was keeping the ball for fun.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, why don't we play this Saturday? I think the big key for me on Saturday is that Eriksen plays. If we've got a player who can open the door, it's him. You know, whether he's on for 50, 60 minutes, how did those last 13 minutes affect him when we was chasing shadows once Rashford got sent off? We've got to be patient. So because we know what they're going to do. We've got to be patient. And if we score a winner in the 88th minute, we'll check it. But don't get worked up. Don't get patient. You've got to be patient. Nothing silly. But if we keep the ball, they can't score. We've got to keep the ball. And I was so impressed those first 30 minutes the other night, how we kept the ball. I was getting it wide. I was looking dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the first goal.
Creating chances.
Look at the first goal there, how we got in behind him. You know, so why can't we do that on Saturday? Be patient and we'll do okay.
It's just a matter of creating chances for Hoyland, because once you give it him, we've seen there the other night, Webby, he'll score goals.
Yeah.
He scored a couple of goals in Europe. And to me, it's about time now they started producing and giving him the chances in the Premier League, because it's just not happening. But a low block, tight game, to me, I think listen, sat here now, Webby. I mean, I'd go with a 1-0 right now.
Yeah.
Right now, 1-0.
All day long. We must win the matches. Every game we seem to play now is a must-win game.
Yeah.
You know, and like you're saying, you're coming against a team who really wasn't going to expect to pull up any trees. They've not spent a lot of money. They've done marvellous for what they've done as a football club from where they was 6, 7, 8 years ago. It's a dream for their supporters. You know, so they're going to come here with no fear.
Yeah.
You know, we've got to play our game like we did for the first 30, 35 minutes. And even the second half, I thought we controlled the game the other night with 10 men. Just be patient, keep the ball, and let's get players wide. And we know what the kid can do. If he gets a supply, he'll score the goals. It's simple. But we've not been doing it in the Premiership. And the pressure's going to be put on him because of the money. But let's remember the kid's only 20. You know, but because he plays for Manchester United and what we paid for, people are going to start scrutinising his record. And I think once he gets the first one in the Premiership, then goals will come, mate.
3 points, most important thing.
Yeah, most important things.
Moving on, Webby, Sir Jim Ratcliffe reports out there that next week, starting on Monday, he'll be in place in his role. But what's confusing about these reports I see is surely the 25% deal should be announced first before any news of him taking up a role.
We've heard nothing, have we?
No,
Once
nothing.
Again, with the club a few weeks ago, we were making a statement every day, weren't we, about something, but nothing's been said about it. It needs to be, because there's certain people in that club who shouldn't be there, who now are thinking and walking up Warwick Road for the last time because they've been found out. They should never be at the football club. You know, we know who they are. And Arnold, Murtough, shouldn't be near the football club. And obviously, Jim Ratcliffe's going to bring his own people in.
Yeah.
One thing we need in is a sporting director who's played the game, who knows about football, because some of these ain't got a Scooby-Doo. You know what I mean? They're great in business sense, like Woodward was, making money for the club. He was probably one of the best in the world, but going on about trying to get transfers in and doing football stuff, clueless. We need a football man in this club. Everyone else has got one apart from us.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people sat at that ground now thinking, Christ, I don't want Monday to come. They want a nice long weekend and something happens because they're going to be out of a job.
Do you think
they've milked it for years, so?
Yeah, oh yeah. Listen, they've milked it for years. They've wasted money. I mean, to be honest with you, Woodward there, the amount of time he was in there, 1.4 billion roundabouts was wasted. I say wasted, was spent on transfers. You know, you look at Arnold, you look at Murtough, they've been in place for a couple of years. They've not got the
Murtough's been there since Moyes, hasn't he? Yeah, and then built up the ladder, but he should be nowhere near the club.
No, I agree with you. Yeah. Now, the thing is, do you think, like, looking at, obviously, we look at it, and I think everyone out there is looking at it, that there will be big changes when Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in. And if it is next week he starts, then, you know, fair enough. But Arnold, Murtough, they're not the only ones going to go. Do you think all this rumour and speculation and all that is part of the problem, what's gone on this year? Because I didn't see anything, the way United are performing and the off-field antics and the injuries and everything. Yes, we've got them. But the thing is, that's no excuse, Webby, for not performing on the pitch, because these players, what go out there, are good enough to really play decent football in any side. And they're not doing it. So do you think the speculation of everyone getting sacked, that it has an air of, I see it as like an air of people don't seem to care inside the club, and it's just spreading to the players?
To be honest, so I agree with what you say, but should it really spread to the players? You know, there's someone at that club who probably worked there 20 years. And the players don't even know who they are. Yeah. But the thing is that there's too many people in that club for years and years have milked it and laughed. And, you know, you look at there the other day, a mate of mine who works there, they've got all the overtime stopped. You know, the lad's been there and he's heartbroken. He said, Webby, I've got to leave my job at the club I love. He's been there 15, 20 years. You know, more cost cut and everything.
Cost cutting.
Yeah, to save them money. You know, and it's an absolute joke. And this lad works and grafts his back out, and now he's going to have to leave the club so he can survive in life. But I'm looking at it there, some of the people there, some of them thinking, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you actually do? Because
yeah.
I've not got a clue. You're swanning around there. Then I heard the other day that a certain member of who's welling up at United had a load of work done on his house, and the kid who done it was a City fan, sat in the director's box on Derby Day. He told him as a City fan, he went, it's all right, I'm well in here, you'll sit in that director's box. That's what it's like. So you come and paint my back door and I'll get you in free. Yeah. It's an absolute joke, mate. And some of these people now are sat there on a Friday morning having could be the last bacon butty inside that ground because they've milked it, Tony, been found out. Well, I hope they get found out and they go.
Well, the thing is, Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming in, Webby, then really should be a breath of fresh air coming through there, because people are sat in there and, as you say, they're milking it, they're looking after the feather in their own nest and all that. So really, it's just to me, what you're saying there is he's got to come in, clean sweep, and get rid of these people. I know you're talking, you've got your pal there, like over time and things are being reduced and all that. But, you know, to me, people have milked it for too long, Webby. It's as though like one department's just looking after the other and doesn't care about the other.
It's been the umbrella of Manchester United. There's that many different departments in the ground, and they look after each other.
Yeah.
But there's people in there, Tony, who probably we'd never met before, been there for donkey's years, do absolutely nothing on a major wage. And some of these people are making major decisions about our club. Yeah. And they've not got, all at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many shirts they sell, balls, tracksuits, it's all about on the pitch. You know, we won't want that investment in on the pitch. And when you see all this money what's been squandered on loans, the ideal world is that Ratcliffe come and he bought a lot and got rid of the Glazers. Hopefully that'll happen within a few years, because they've absolutely been, you know, I seen a picture the other day there that someone put on Twitter underneath the scoreboard. It's all crusty and ready to fall in. You know, this is Manchester United Football Club, and we've sat here over the months, over the pre-season, and watched them paint that framework just to make it look a bit better. The gaff is falling down, so it's absolutely falling down. It's affecting everyone on the pitch. The manager's probably not got the targets he wanted for the penny pinching again. You know, we're in a mess, so we're in an absolute mess.
We're in a mess. I look at it though, Webby. He's going to come in. I don't see the great investment and the squandering of money. I actually look at the playing side of it, and I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe will come in with his advisors, people around him and all that, and sort of say to the management and the club and say, hang on a minute, we're spending all this money on the youth. We've got like the under-21s, 18s and all that. Where's your centre-halves coming? Where's your right back? Where's your left back coming through? What's going on with all this? We need it to change, because I'm concerned when you look at it. Yes, we've got Garnacho, what's come through, one or two other players in that. But if you look at our centre-half situation, you know what I mean? The way it is, you know, in the first team, where's the kids coming through? I want someone to come through, and he'll probably ask questions.
Yeah. Of course, there's nothing better. Obviously, we had the class of 92. That'll never be around the world. That'll happen again. But the thing is, like, we used to have like 2 or 3 players on the verge of being around the squad, and it's dropping down each year. So what's happening at the bottom level of the football club? Where are these kids going? You know, because these kids, you know, are good enough, but they're not getting the chance. Look at all the players we've got rid of for like £500,000. You know, give them a chance. You know, there'll be nothing better for us to sit here in a couple of years' time and 3 or 4 of that 11 are starting. And they don't have to be local lads. They've got to come through.
I think that's the way it'll go, depending on results and the position we're in the Premier League. Yeah. Christmas, January, and I think if he's in situ, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I think he might sort of say, "Listen, you're not going to get a lot of money here in the summer." And if that is the case, I think he'll tell Eric Ten Hag just to turn around and say, "You now need to start introducing young players." He started it at Nice. That's how I look at what he's done in football. He's changed it round at Nice, where he's brought in young squad players, what were on the verge, and he's just turned it round and brought them in. It's a young Nice side that. And
doing quite well, aren't
they?
They're
doing
well. Top at league or something. I watched it. They was on the other night.
They was top of the league. I don't know what they are now. But what I'm saying to you is that's how I see it going, because I don't see the great investment. A lot of it has been squandered. And if he comes in and he comes in quickly, I think he needs time to settle in and work out where the club is at, what he needs to be done. The structure all have to change. And that isn't going to be overnight, Webby. So, I look at it. Why would you throw a load of money in straight away? You need to sort of look at your base, work it out. 25% owner, he's not going to throw the money in. The Glazers don't throw the money in. So I look at it there. We might struggle at first, but I think once he gets his feet under the table, gets his ideas there, then we might see a clear strategy. And that's what I'm waiting for, to see a clear strategy, Webby.
Yeah, we've got to look towards January, like with the financial fair play, what we're allowed to spend, and we all know what we want. We want those Glazers out. So, and
yeah,
will it happen hopefully one day soon? We've been here, talked about before, but I remember, 8 or 9 months ago, we sat here, we knew we were going to have a party, we ordered jelly and ice cream, party actually before it'd go, but it's not happened.
No, well, listen, we can only hope things change and change for the good. Let's see if them reports are true, and we'll report on it next week. Listen, get your comments in. Thanks for watching, and press that like button, and we'll be back after the game. Thank you.
Hopefully with 3 points.
Hopefully with 3 points.